everyone. Welcome to Mission to Inspire. My name is Shola, as you know, and we have a wonderful guest here with us today. His name is George Ishee. I hope I pronounced it properly. Okay, so he's joining us today, and he's going to be talking about eradicating financial poverty and empowering individuals to achieve financial freedom. So that's what I'm going to say about him, and I'll leave it to George to introduce himself properly and tell us a little bit about himself. So, George, I'm going to leave that to you.
Well, thank you, Shola, and I appreciate it. And I'm excited to share this concept to help anybody that wants to change your financial life and get the assistance to do it. And it's a new concept, and I come from a large family, 9 brothers and sisters, and I'm right in the middle. I'm the mischief one, the creative one, and so I have been in sales and marketing my whole life. I've worked for a Fortune 50 company all the way down to startup companies, and the first business I ever started was age 7, and it started from a penny. And this last business that I'm working on is all about a penny. So that's kind of the creative side of that circle, and
All about
I
penny.
it started with the penny. Yeah, I was
You go all the way to freedom. Really? Wow.
yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. I've not heard about that concept before, but yeah, we'll delve into that.
And the key thing about it is what I found with a lot of things. People they don't create the finish line. It's like when you have a runner and they sprint across the finish line at a marathon or something, and they're raising their hands, and somebody snapshots that picture of them crossing the finish line.
Yes.
Well, the runner has that vision, but when it comes to finance, 99% of the people never see themselves crossing that financial finish line. So that's the first thing, is to create that vision and believe that they're part of that vision, just as if they were running across and somebody snapped the picture. So, I tell people on my website, I say, imagine if you could just turn a penny into $1.3 million. Could you see yourself in that position in 2, 3, or 4 years? And they have to create that finish line for themselves, and that's the beginning of their journey to changing their wealth.
So it starts with a vision, creating that vision.
Yes, they have to see it, because see, if you look at everybody at every wake of life, for any success they've done in life, they saw that vision first. They dreamed it up first, and they decided, I'm going to do it. They didn't know how to do it, but they made the decision and saw them getting that result, whatever it was.
Yes.
Whether it's going to the store, buying a new car, or whatever they do, they created that vision in their mind first. And then the mind, part of the brain called the reticular activator, then help them attract the how to do it. And most of them, if you ask them, say, well, how did you do that? They go, I don't know. It just, things started coming to me. And it started with that dream and that vision. So we tell people they got to do that first. And that's the first step.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for that short introduction of yourself and what you do and how you can help others to achieve financial freedom. I'm gonna delve straight into our this or that questions. I'm gonna ask you 5 questions, this or that. They're short questions, so I just need short answers to them.
Sure.
Okay, the first one is this: real estate or stock market investment? Which do you believe offers potential wealth creation?
Well, real estate, because that's a fixed asset and it continues to grow. Stock markets go up and down. That's a higher risk, but real estate has been the winner time after time.
That's true. That's true. Thank you for that. Next one, passive income or active income streams. So I've heard about people coming online talking about both those two, but which one do you emphasize more in your wealth building strategy?
Well, if you look at all the millionaires and what they say you need multiple passive incomes.
Yes.
Yes, yes, you still need active income,
Mhm.
uh, but the wealth comes from passive income and multiple streams of it.
Multiple streams of it. Thank you for that. Multiple streams of it. So we need to be able to build multiple streams of passive income.
Yes.
Okay. So traditional education or self-education, which has played a bigger role in your personal journey to financial success?
Well, I think you'll find that most of the millionaires and billionaires, they were self-educated and created something that solved a need. Yes, there's MBAs, and
Mhm.
I actually with my program I have a free challenge that I ask people say, why do you need an MBA when you can get an MBG for way less? And you know, yes, an MBA and the knowledge and following that is a path,
Mm,
but I think the real wealth comes from people that have solved problems and invented things.
that's true. Very true. I mean, that's very true. Long-term sustainability or quick gains, which do you prioritize when guiding individuals to financial prosperity?
I think you need both.
Both, okay.
Yeah, I think you need long-term gains,
Mhm.
but having the quick hits, there's been a lot of people. If you look at the young crowd today, they're into cryptocurrency and they're making big, huge, quick gains. I mean, it's
Yeah,
there, it's riskier,
that's
but you need some stability. But people that take chances and add a little bit of risk without giving up their stability,
that's
that
true.
that I think so. It's a blend of both.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Okay. There's knowledge in what you've just shared. Okay, lastly then, risk tolerance or risk aversion. Which mindset do you encourage when it comes to making strategic financial decisions?
I think some risk is where the money is. There's stability with if you lower your risk, it's lower income. If
Mm,
you add a little bit of risk and you get out in front of yourself and create things and solve problems, that's risky,
that's
but it's
risk.
also rewarding. So that would be my answer. Is take a little risk. You don't have to bet the farm, but
Mhm.
you can certainly get ahead of yourself and go because that's how you grow.
Sure, that's how we grow. A lot of people don't like taking risk because sometimes with risk can come with a lot of things.
It's scary because if you see what happens is when they think about risk, they only think about the loss that could happen. They
Mhm.
don't, and they focus on that, and that becomes really big in their mind. What
Yeah.
if I lose it? Then,
Yeah.
then I'm worse off. But if
Mm.
they put as much focus on what could I gain,
Mm.
then it's just as valuable.
It
It's
is.
all it's all what they decide. God gave us all the ability to decide, and the ones that can leverage that ability to decide and decide where they want to be, not where they fear they would be.
That's very true. Thank you so much for answering those five this or that questions. It's actually given us an opportunity to know you better.
I'm just a common sense guy that grew up on a farm and had to work for a living and grow our food. So I'm a normal guy.
I know my guy. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Okay, so can you share some of your inspiration behind creating millionaires by George.com?
Yeah, thank you for that question. What got me on the mission was I've been in sales and marketing my whole life. So I spent my life going to people and saying, what's your problem? And then I would have a product that would solve their problem and they would buy it, right? That's why people buy things, because they try to solve the problem themselves. But then when they can't, then they go out, they talk to those dreaded salesmen, right? And because they think the salesman has a better solution to solve their need. That's the core. And as I did that, it just struck me funny that some people had a lot of money, but a lot of people had not enough money. I mean, they were always just, they had more month than money, right? And they'd spent all their money and still had to pay the rent. And it formed one question was, well, is there not enough money in the world? For enough for anybody, to do it. And I studied that for a long time and pondered, and I realized, of course, there's plenty of money. There's an endless supply of money. And then it shifted to, well, how do other people get to that money? And what I found, and I did a lot of research and talked to a lot of millionaires and 2 billionaires.
Yeah.
And, the issue was, the only difference they had was they had the knowledge of how to do it because they went out and did it, and then they took action.
Mm.
And I came up with a phrase. They spelled action wrong in the dictionary. They spell it ACTION. That's wrong.
Really? That's
Yeah, if you just take the I out of the middle of it and you move it to the front with the space, it says I act on.
ah, I
And when you look at the word that way, I act on my journey to wealth. See, and that's how I spell action. I act on. And when you get people to realize that's what's missing, then
Mhm.
they can take action. And then they decide, I'm going to go on a journey, and I take action, and it happens.
That is true. Wow. I act on. And
Yeah,
really thinking about it, action is you act on something anyway. That's how we take action. We have to act on it.
that's correct. It's all common sense. Everything that I put together is just common sense, and anybody can do it.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh wow. Oh wow. That leads me to my next actually. So what would be some of the key principles or strategies that you teach to help people generate over
Well,
one
I
million?
just I tell it as a story, and I'll use you as my guinea pig, if I may, to
Okay.
tell the story. So,
Yeah.
have you personally ever found a coin or a penny laying on the ground and picked it up? You ever done that? I know you don't have,
Yeah.
you have a different, you're in, so, and then I ask people, did you take that penny? In the US, it's a penny, and it's maybe a pound in your country, but did they take that penny and turn it into $1.3 million? And they all go, no, I didn't do that. And I go, oh, darn, you were so close. If you just done that last step. And we laugh and we have fun. But the reason they don't do it
Uh-huh.
is the brain says, I've never seen anybody do that, so don't you do that, because I don't want to hurt you. It self-sabotages you, right? And it stops you. I can't do that, so don't even try, right? But here's the simple math that you can't dispute. If you take that penny and double it to 2 cents, and then two cents to 4 cents, and 4 to 8, 8 to 16, and you just double it 28 times, it equals $1,342,177.28.
28 times. That's all we need.
That's all it is. And you can't argue with the math. It's common sense, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, here's the key question. If you had done that, found a penny and
Uh-huh.
doubled it 28 times and made $1.3 million,
Yeah.
would it be hard or easy to do it a second time? What
Mm.
would you say? What would your audience say?
It would have been very easy to do it the second time. I think the first time is always the hardest, isn't it?
Yeah. But once you've done it once, it's easy to do it a second time, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
what's the key ingredient? The ingredient is you then have the knowledge of
Mm.
what works.
Yeah.
And then if you have the knowledge, all you have to do is act on that knowledge and
Yeah.
go do it the second time, right?
That's true. That's true.
If that was available in the world, how many people do you think could change your financial life?
Wow.
So
Don't know.
here's what I built, and here's the magic. I'll uncover the screen and
Yeah.
show the magic.
Mm-hmm.
So I created a system, like you said, called millionairesbygeorge.com.
Mm-hmm.
And every time, let's say you doubled a penny 10 times in 30 days and you
Yeah.
got to $5.12. So now you had $5.12 of extra money that came from that penny you found, right? So
Yeah.
it's not so it's almost like a passive income, but it's not messing with your paycheck, right? So how hard would you be to go to yard sale, find something you knew and had the knowledge that you could sell for $10 and off from 5, and they said yes. Could you envision that?
Hmm.
So and they may not be the first thing, the second thing, the third thing, but they'll finally go, yeah, you can, I'll sell it to you for $5. Then you go and you sell it for 10, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Now, could you do this? Could you take that knowledge, log into my system, and say, here's what I did. I went to a yard sale, I offered 3 times, and they finally said yes. And I turned around and sold it online for $10, enter. You could do that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So here's the secret where it all changes.
Mm-hmm.
Once you do that, my
Mm-hmm.
software, as because now you've contributed to a community of
Yeah.
people helping people, my software then opens up and shows you all the answers from everybody else ahead of you in the system, how they complete the system, the step you're about to start. So now you want to go from $10 to $20, and you get to see what worked for everybody else and how they did it. You can text them and say, how did you do that? Blah, blah, blah. And you just pick one you like, you copy it, and I act on again, and you turn $10 into 20. Now you're helping everybody behind you with your answer, and then everybody ahead of you is helping you. So you get to see, it's like if I gave you a 28 question quiz, but I gave you the answer to each question before you had to answer, could you pass? I'd hope so. And that's the secret. It's not rocket scientist.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. Oh my God, there's so much in what you've just explained. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my
So
goodness.
we hand people the knowledge of what to do before they have to do it.
Do it.
Then
Wow.
they just got to decide, do I want to act on and take this journey with other people on a journey to wealth in 28 steps?
In 28 steps, which is what it would take us to actually turn a penny into 1.3 million dollars. Oh
Run the
my,
math. Go to the website. I got the math there to prove it.
there, yeah. Okay then. So how important is mindset in achieving financial success?
It's the core ingredient. If you don't believe it, it
Mhm.
won't happen. As they always say, if you believe it, you can achieve it.
Yes, that's
And it's true. So you have, like I said in the beginning, you
mhm.
have to create that finish line where you're doing this, crossing the finish line, going, yay, I'm now financially free. And you have to envision what your life would be like if
Mhm.
2 years or 3 years, I compare it to an MBA.
That's true.
An MBA, you first have to get into school, which is tough. Then
Yeah.
you have to go into 50 to $100,000 in debt. You have to spend 2 years of your life where you're not making money, but you're learning back in school. And when you get out, what do you get? You get a piece of paper that says, go make your first penny.
Mm,
Now, the good part is, yes, you could get, 30, 40, 50% higher raise, but it still takes you 5, 10, 15 years to pay back
that's
the
true.
50, $100,000 investment, right?
True. That's very
With I call it an MBG, a Millionaires by George. If you took the same time and did it in 2 years, not only would you have the 1.3 million in the bank, but you'd have the knowledge and skill to do it over and over and over again and teach people how to
true.
do it.
That's
Now,
true.
all of a sudden, you become the philanthropic person
Yeah.
where you're giving back to helping other people and spreading this common sense knowledge and sharing it. And
Yeah,
that would be their new job, you know?
it's true. That's true. Oh my goodness.
We're,
Okay.
I'm starting a new revolution that has never been done before, where people are joining a community to help everybody help everybody.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And that's community building. That's
Yeah.
very, that's true. Can you walk us through a success story or a case story of someone that has
I'm
gone?
sorry, say that again. Say that again.
Can you walk us through a success story or, a case study
Well,
of someone who's
sure. And just so people know, I have not finished the course myself. It's 28 steps and I'm on step 20 of 28. So I'm ahead of everybody and available to help guide people if they need it. But one of my stories I'll share is this Yeti cup. You see this big cup right here?
yeah, I can see that.
Okay. Yeti cups, that's a 30-ounce Yeti cup. And about a year and a half ago, Yeti cups were so popular on eBay. That 30-ounce cup was selling for $39 and nobody had them in inventory, right?
Goodness, okay.
So I said, all right, well, how can there's a need. People wanted
Mhm.
Yeti cups. So I did some research
Yeah.
and I went on this thing called Alibaba. You ever heard of that?
Heard of Alibaba, yeah.
So I went on Alibaba and I found a guy that would sell me those cups for $10 a piece. So I had $1,000 so far that I turned a penny into $1,000 and doubled it. And I took my $1,000 and bought 100 cups. And I turned around and sold them on eBay for $29 and I had them in inventory. Guess what? I sold out in a month. Now I had $2,000. And guess what? I bought 200 cups and I did it again. And then I went to $4,000. And right about when I had sold, I had 30 cups left. All of a sudden, Home Depot and Lowe's showed up selling the cups for $10 a piece. I was like, oh no. And so I sold my 30 cups to a company for $10 a piece, what I paid for them. And they gave them out to the board of directors as Christmas gifts. But that's a success story of one of the ways that I took and doubled and started growing using that double the penny to the next level and then entering it into the system. So it's my story's in there. So now I invented a button. It's another thing. It's a little button here that says enough button, NUF.
I can see.
And this little enough button on the side has a 30, 60, 90 and an on off switch.
Yes, yeah,
And I found out most people, they forget to change. They don't forget to change their oil in their car because they get a little reminder light,
yeah.
but they forget to change that dirty filter in their furnace in the house, right? And
Mm,
all that dust, the furnace gets clogged up, and
right.
then the dust lets it through once it's collected all it could collect. And then that dust floats around in the air for weeks and months, and you're breathing that until it settled down enough times till it got thick enough so you could see something called dust, right? And then you panic and you go, oh my God, my house is so dusty, I gotta go clean it up. And then
Mm.
you change the filter. But what this little device does, you just turn it on and when you do that, it blinks twice and gives you a little red light, like see it blinking?
Yeah, I can see it blinking. Yeah.
So it'll blink twice and then be idle, and it's got a magnet. You stick it on your refrigerator, and then 30 days later, it starts blinking twice every 5 seconds to say, time to change your filter so you're not breathing that bad air, just
Ooh,
like you change your oil. And
okay.
we call it a no ugly filter because you never want an ugly filter, right?
Don't want to
Or
hug.
enough button. By the way, enough spells fun backwards, FUN.
Ooh, okay, I get.
Now, when it's on your refrigerator and you get reminded, and
Mhm.
your friends come in and they say, "What's that enough button?" You go,
Yeah.
"What? You didn't? Did you get enough?"
Ah, did you get enough? That's true.
And so I now have a website called getenough.com where people could buy that for $20. And my cost on it, I'll expose it to get it developed and engineered, from Alibaba was my cost in shipping is $5 and I'll make $15 profit. And I have 1,000 of them, about 900 left that I'm now selling off my website. So when I do that, I'll go from $10,000, which is a penny, to 10,000 to 20,000, and then I'll start investing in other things, maybe like cars or businesses or other things on eBay or Craigslist or whatever. There's just I'll go to the next level and finish my last 8 steps
Yeah.
um, in the process to do it. So I'm doing what I'm preaching people need to do.
Oh my good God. And it's just as little, as small as you just explained it. It's not something elaborate.
No, it's not complicated.
Compl-
Remember, they need to rechange action in their life and change it to I act on and
Mm,
take action and go on the journey, join this journey of others to
yeah.
create wealth. And it's 3 steps. So what I did, I created a free 30-day challenge. I call it the Money Mindset Challenge, to
Fine.
see if you can find a coin or a penny and then double it 10 times in 30 days to get to $5.12, which most people can do, right?
Fine. Yeah.
But what that does, that rescripts your brain and helps you bypass, because here's what holds everybody up. You know, growing up, we didn't have a belief about money, so we had to form a belief, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we heard things as very young age of things like money's the root of all evil. We can't afford that right now. We'll buy it later. Rich people are greedy. And we just heard that over and over and over from people we respected, our parents, our teachers, and other people, right? And when
Yes.
you gathered enough of that data, it formed a belief about wealth.
Mm,
That belief will never ever change unless you replace that data, correct?
yeah. True. True.
So how do you correct that? How do you get to the data? It's in your subconscious. You can't do it. So
Mm,
you're scripted, and your journey is don't be rich, because I don't want to be wealthy, or I don't want to outdo my parents because they said we couldn't afford it, and I believe them, right? So how do you overcome that? Well, what I developed is when you double a penny 10 times in 30 days, your brain goes, oh, go from 2 cents to 4 cents. You won't get hurt. Go ahead. I'll ignore it. 4 cents to 8 cents. I don't care. 8 cents to 6. I don't care. That ain't gonna hurt you. But when you do it 10 times in a row in that short amount of time, 30 days, at that point, your brain will never ever question, can I double? Because it just did it 10 times in a row and it's got the data, right? We use the same skill that
that,
formed your first belief.
yeah.
Now we shift to the left side, the analytical side, and it comes up to the question, well, how do you do it? And
Oh,
since you don't know how to do it, your
mhm.
brain will self-sabotage you. Go, don't try that. You'll get hurt.
Go
And
that.
they don't do it. But now with my program, we tell them how to do it because it's worked for other people already, and they have these mentors ahead of them sharing that information. So the brain goes, okay. And then you get to act on, and your brain gets set to the side. So now you can go on a journey and bypass the roadblocks that have held you back all your life.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank
Imagine doing that with your children
Yes.
and breaking the scenario
Hmm.
of never having enough money, maybe multi generations back.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh
It's
my,
powerful.
it is powerful. It is powerful. What advice do you have for individuals who may be skeptical, or hesitant about embarking on the journey to financial prosperity? Just like you've already said it anyway, but what other advice do you have?
My advice would be, go take the 30-day challenge and see if you can make the decision and create your vision. If you
Right.
can't do that, then don't waste your time, because you'll be in that same spectrum of dollar income the rest of your life.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
if you're okay with that and you don't want to take a little bit of risk,
Yeah.
then just enjoy that. Enjoy the life you have, and don't look at it as frustration. Look at it as you have a life that you can enjoy and you've chosen. But
Wow.
for those that are hungry for
Mm.
something, if somebody would just tell them and help them what to do, then also now there's something finally available that can work for anybody.
Yeah.
And what's great about it, you asked me a question earlier, is passive income or active income better?
Yeah.
with my program, what we do a 30-day free trial to see, and then we have a membership that's a very expensive, membership. It's $35 a month.
Okay.
But if you want even that for free, or you want to build passive income, we have a free affiliate program that takes $10 of that 35, and we pay you on that. So if you just referred 4 people into the program that were paying $35 a month, you'd get $40, which would cover your 35, and it would be free. Or if you have a big social group of people, you can invite them into it. And for every 100 people you bring in, that'll be a passive recurring $12,000 a year income.
Oh my God, look at the maths. Oh my goodness.
If you brought 500 people, it would be 60,000. If you brought 1,000 people, and it maybe took you 2 years to build 1,000 people, that would be $120,000 a year of passive recurring income that anybody could do for free. They just have to I act on and go do it.
And they go do it. Oh my God. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm sure we have.
So financial freedom is there for those that will take action.
Is there for those that can take action or that will take action. And that was really wise what you did, taking the I from the middle, putting them in front. And I can do it. I can do it. Oh my God. Thank you so much for coming on our show today.
Yeah, we did it.
Goodness, and until next time, it's Shola and George.
So go to millionairesbygeorge.com and look at it. And if anybody, I have a button that says book a call, and I'll talk to anybody. I'll help them.
Actually, that reminds me, before we go, finally, how can people contact you if they want to?
Go to millionairesbygeorge.com and click the blue button that says book a call. It's easy.
That's it. It's easy. Hey, people, I'm sure you've heard it. Book a call. Go to his website. Book a call. It is that easy. Thank you so much for joining us on our show today. And it's goodbye from me.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, everyone.
Subscribe if you haven't done so. Like, follow, comment. Until next time. Goodbye.